So, Glen Barnett,
Yes.
what have you got yourself into this time?
This time I'm musically directing a show, but a full show rather than a concert. Just behind me down here is the orchestra pit. I've got an orchestra of 11, a cast of 37, and as you can see in the background as well, quite a big set with things going on. The show we're doing is Jesus Christ Superstar.
Love it.
It's a very well-known show, and I'm very, very excited to be part of it.
So how's your Jesus-Judas relationship going?
It's pretty intense, actually.
Yeah?
It's pretty intense.
And Pilot.
And
Very
Pilot.
important.
Oh, look, seriously, we've got a cast of some amazing actors.
Yeah.
Some really amazing actors. And we're very lucky in that. I think Jesus Christ Superstar, because it's such a well-known show as well, we've really tried to focus in on the characters and the story behind what happened. And so we've got Stuart Dodge and Michael Butler playing the role of Judas and Jesus. And the both of them together just really get this intensity, this sort of love for each other as friends, but also the sort of confusion between what's happening between their characters as well. So just the ensemble as well, and Pilot, like you said, they're just phenomenal. Thanks, guys. No, they
Guthrie
are.
Jones.
Jonathan Guthrie Jones does a phenomenal job as
Yeah,
Pilot.
he's one of my favourite amateur musical theatre.
I tell you what,
performers.
the first act, Pilot's Dream, something to look forward to. His
Yeah?
voice is just sublime.
Is it?
And it just sounds amazing.
He's
And
often
then-
comic though.
It is. It's been a bit of a challenge for him, I think, as well. It's something a bit different, something people haven't seen him in perhaps as much. So, yeah, like coming from Pilot's Dream in a sort of a haunted, kind of creeped out way, and
Haunted,
then into
haunting
the
hunted.
yeah, haunting hunted kind, yeah. Into the second act where he's a bit more, I'm in charge, I'm the boss, and then he gets really confused by this man who's brought before him and doesn't understand, and he gets quite agitated and vulnerable and everything. It's fascinating to see the development of the characters, and even in the ensemble, as I keep coming back to, they've really done a lot of work. And there's a lot of character development in the ensemble themselves as well. So we've really managed to focus a lot on everyone, I think, in this show. So.
How was the Sits probe? Were the cast excited to hear?
Oh, I tell you what, I was so excited. I was so excited. I've never conducted an actual orchestra for a show. I've always either been playing or been part of it or something like that. So this is the first time I'm just standing at the front and I'm controlling it. And I've got 11, like I said, 11 people in the orchestra, and they're all fantastic musicians. And yeah, the guys came yesterday for Sits probe, and as soon as we started the overture, they were all like, "Yep, that's
Do you
what
have
we're
your
going to hear."
guitarist on stage for the?
No, we don't. It's all done instrumentally from the pit. No, so we've really tried to steer away, I think, from any preconceived notions of Jesus Christ Superstar.
Yeah?
So hopefully anything you see in our show you will never have seen before, or hasn't been done before as such. So like, there's no guitar at the start. There's no romanticism between Mary and Jesus. There's no prostitutes. So, you know, all the sort of common things that people usually do for this show, we've tried to avoid doing, just to give it a sort of a new lease of life, if you will.
You've been MD for a few things, but you're saying
Yes.
this is your first full musical.
In the
that you're
past,
being MD for.
yeah, in the past I've MD'd concerts and things like that, which are like a compilation of songs, things that I've prepared with a director, and then, like I said, I've usually been playing the piano for those kind of shows, and it's only been a four or five piece band that's played. The only other show I have MD'd was Godspell, and that's only a five-piece band as well, just the rhythm
Common
section.
theme, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. I know. I can't get away from it.
The Almighty is watching.
Yes, bless him. But no, so this is the first time since high school. I did a lot of conducting in high school with orchestras and stage bands, but since high school, this is the first time I've actually, like I said, been standing in front of an orchestra and a cast and actually waving my arms around.
So you had conducting experience, leadership
Yes,
experience
yes.
since high school.
Absolutely, yeah. No, I went to Blackburn High School, which is a very adamant music school, if you will. They're pretty hard on their music, and I got a lot of experience in heaps of different styles. I played trumpet in a couple of jazz groups. I played piano in jazz groups and orchestras. I was singing. Learning all the theory behind music and all that kind of thing, and so I got a lot of experience, a lot of exposure, and we went on a lot of tours, and they really tried to teach you as much as they could possibly fit into that 6 years of high school.
Were you going to that high school because you decided you wanted to follow music and you knew that high school would be good for that?
Actually, no, I went to that high school because I didn't want to go to the same one as my brother.
These people aren't getting paid to be. I mean, some people are. The crew we're talking about here. But
Yes.
The cast, they're not being paid,
No.
right? It's amateur. What do they have as an incentive to shut up and listen to you? I mean, are you just, assigned that role and therefore they respect you, or do you have to earn
It's a
that?
good question, actually. I think it's often a theme you hear a lot about in amateur music theatre is that, the cast won't listen or blah, blah, blah. And there's a lot of discussion about people being paid and all that kind of thing. And I think at the end of the day, this, as you say, this is an amateur company. And coming into it, I think a cast know that, and they know they've chosen to do this show. It's a choice that they've decided that's a show I would like to be a part of, or that's a person I would like to work for. I know for myself, when I audition for a show, I often look at who the director and the musical director are and say, yeah, I really want to work for those people. I think it's exciting for a lot of people, particularly those that haven't done a lot of singing, to work with me. I sort of have a bit of a reputation as a bit of a hard ass when it comes to singing. As I teach singing from home, and a lot of my students are in this show. But I think people have sort of heard...
That sounds a bit rigged.
It does a little bit, but to be honest, most of the people that auditioned were my students as well. So it wasn't anything like that at all. I cast fairly. I try to as much as possible, But no, I mean, I think people, when you audition for a show, you know that even though it's amateur and you're not getting paid, is that the director and the musical director are in charge, and you respect them to the point where you do what they tell them within reason, of course. I'm not going to tell you to run around and cluck like a chicken unless it's in the script. But I think people, as a general rule, will just accept that they've chosen to be there and that they want to be part of it, and therefore that means they need to do what I tell them.
Does this mean you have to maintain a disposition of leadership even when off duty?
I try to, yes. It's difficult sometimes when your friends are in the cast, and it's a very big challenge, I find, to really want to remain the really friendly friend person and not have any issues. But I think sometimes you do have to distance yourself from it at that instance, only at rehearsals.